Hello, everybody. Check, check, check. All right. Let me know if you can hear me. Good. All right. Let me know if you are with me in the chat section. Welcome to JW News with Ruby Quinn. I am again tonight by myself. King Tony had another birthday to celebrate tonight. I'm telling you, she, she's a really good apostate. She is living it up right now, having a lot of birthday dinners. And I'm so excited to see us in the ex JW community finally living our lives the way we want, authentically, and celebrating other people, especially ourselves, but more so other people. You know what I mean? I am going to say hello to all of you guys in the comments. So I will wait a few minutes for everybody to hop on and let me know if the gang is here. Come on, gang. Get in the chat. Yes, San Diego, you're first. Congratulations. Second time in a row that somebody has beat John Marciano. Oh my goodness. Yep. Congratulations. And there was also a quick announcement that I wanted to make that just popped into my head just now is that on Fixing My Faith channel, on Vern's channel, I believe he has like merch or like a store available for people to purchase like shirts or hats or things like that. And recently, his good wife shared a shirt that she actually has, and it says Apostate Paradise. And it was in a beautiful color. I love everything about it. As soon as we all saw it, we were like, oh my goodness. She showed it to us on Discord on our movie night on Wednesday. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely think about going to their shop and ordering a shirt. I think I might I might do that. I think it's kind of cool to have a shirt. Apostate Paradise, because that's exactly what this is. Hi, Joe and Fran. Joe and Fran have hopped on. Okay. Awesome. All right. So yeah, I was thinking about the merch and to give a shout out to Vern's channel. Ever since he got a little, sick recently, he hasn't been able to do lives, even though he does videos. So you will still be able to catch Vern doing his own videos on his channel. And as far as the lives go, I don't know when Vern will be back. So if you haven't already, send your, well wishes or thoughts or whatever to Vern on Discord. It is called XJW Friends. That's our server. I'll put a link in the description if any other moderator comes in the future. You will also see a link there. In the description, you should also be able to see a link, but it expires every week. So that's why I try to like promote it as much as I can so that if somebody new comes along, they'll be able to join the Discord. We have lots of fun stuff going on Discord. And like always, I want to start, remembering to show the promo that I made for the Loungers Club. So that's what I'm going to do every Friday and hopefully every Tuesday on my own show. I'm going to show you this promo, guys. It's an XJW entrepreneur. And I think that's amazing. If there is any other XJW businesses that are, up and running or you have like an Etsy store or something, I want to promote that. So I was thinking to give a shout out to any other business owners that would like to have a little commercial. I would love to do that like I did for the Loungers Club, especially for XJWs. So send me an email if you have like merch or an item or a business or anything that you would like us to showcase, in the XJW community. So I'm going to play my promo now. And I hope that more people would jump in the chat before I start going straight into the news. So I'm trying to give you guys some time to enter the chat. Courtesy of the Loungers Club, I was gifted some merch and I am more than happy to do a promotional video for the brand. So let's get to know the company.
The Loungers Club is a lifestyle clothing brand that promotes relaxation and comfort, weekend getaways, vacation, and just a stress free lifestyle in general. Inspired by a cherished family heirloom, it became the symbol of their mission to create comfortable, stylish clothing that encourages people to slow down, unwind, and to savor life's little moments. From beachside picnics to late night fireside chats, the Loungers Club invites everyone to embrace comfort, leisure, and positive vibes. The brand offers versatile clothing and accessories for men, women, and children. Please go check them out at theloungersclub.com.
Awesome, guys. So there it goes, theloungersclub.com. Check it out. It's a fellow XJW businessman, entrepreneur. And I think he also wants to share his story. So that would be really amazing if I can give an interview to the founder of the Loungers Club. I think he was on Joe and Fran's show on Wednesday. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of nice. Okay, so I'm going to take a page out of Vern's book because I know that he uses Watching Watchtower for like some of the news stories. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just give a little nod to Vern and show a video from Watching Watchtower. So I'm going to present my screen to you guys now. And I didn't have time to like really dive into what's going on in Australia. But it says here, Senator David Shoebridge asks questions about Jehovah's Witnesses in Australia. And let me see if I can like skip to the actual part where they start talking. Okay, right here. So I'm going to skip to the 44-second mark.
Secretary, are you aware of an approach that's been made to your department by a survivor of abuse asking for a task force to look into the Jehovah's Witnesses, concerned about their continued failure to respond to child sexual abuse claims and forced labour in the organisation, and their concerns that despite notionally being part of the redress scheme, I think they've paid out on only 2 claims. Are you aware of that approach to the department?
Senator, I don't believe I'm directly, it doesn't ring a bell with me, but can I ask Mr. Collette to respond?
Yeah, Senator, citizens do contact the department through the National Office for Child Safety, given its responsibilities on a range of issues that certainly go to the sorts of matters that you've just described. I can't be certain based on the comments you've made, but that would be the sort of thing that from time to time we do receive correspondence about.
Could you take it on notice? And I raise it not just because I think these matters are raised in my office, perhaps other senators as well, but it was also explicitly dealt with in the Royal Commission into institutional abuse. A series of commitments were made from the leadership of the Jehovah's Witnesses to reform the organisation's child protection policies. And the information provided to my office is that those commitments have been breached. So could I ask you to take on notice if you're aware of these concerns and what, if anything, has been done in response to them?
Yeah, certainly happy to take that on notice, Senator. And I'm conscious that while estimates occurs in the public domain, if there was specific information you wanted to provide to us, we're happy to receive that.
I understand.
Okay, so that was one of the clips, right? And if you want to do those, look up the links and stuff like that, you can go to Watching Watchtower channel. Now, the good thing about this is that these senators, representatives, people who are in, places of power, at least they're talking about it. You see, I want exactly what that senator is doing in Australia. I want them to do it in America. Why can't we do the same thing? Why can't we have inquiries? Why can't we have investigations? Why can't we have a whole committee dedicated to the human rights violations or abuses or CSA with all cults, not just Jehovah's Witnesses? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I want it to be like a part of Operation Spotlight and promote that as much as I have, is because I want that to be in America. And that's not too much to ask. If other countries are doing it, then we can do it too. But it's up to us, the people, to talk to our representatives so that they are even made aware of this. You see what I'm saying? It's like people just believe the outward appearance of the Jehovah's Witnesses, how they portray them in movies or in a rap song or a regular song. You know what I'm saying? And they don't actually understand how deep this goes. But that's up to us. It's our job to let our representatives know. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about Operation Spotlight in a second. But I wanted to show you another video coming from, let's see, I think this is Australia as well. But let me make sure. The title says David Smith, MP, calls for action about Jehovah's Witnesses in Australia, coming from the same YouTube channel, Watching Watchtower. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So it is coming from Australia. Let me see if I can skip again to the when they start talking. Okay, 34-second mark of this video. I'm going to play it.
Member for Baird.
Deputy Speaker, for some time now I've been engaging with Lara Kaput, a constituent of mine who is a former member of the Jehovah's Witnesses. Over many years, Lara and her colleagues have undertaken significant research into the abuse and obfuscation which has occurred within the organisation. The Royal Commission into Institutional Responses to Child Sexual Abuse found that the Jehovah's Witnesses was not an organisation which responded adequately to abuse. The research undertaken by Lara and her colleagues is comprehensive and builds upon this finding. Lara's research suggests that the lessons of the history of abuse have not been fully learned and taken to heart in the ongoing operations of the organisation. Disturbingly, Lara has told me that in 6 years of the operation of the redress scheme, there have been only 2 successful applications from victims of abuse within the Jehovah's Witness community. The report produced by the inquiry by the Joint Standing Committee on the implementation of the National Redress Scheme last year covers a great deal of ground on this subject. In particular, the inquiry found that it appeared possible that the Jehovah's Witnesses misled the Joint Standing Committee in its evidence. It's clear that a legacy of abuse and mismanagement must be addressed in all its aspects. The antidote, Deputy Speaker, is scrutiny. I look forward to continuing to work with Lara and advocate for action on this important issue.
There you go. I mean, he said it better than we can, right? And he's not even in this community. I mean, like, come on. If these people can do it, we can do it. So, one of the great things that I found on the Operation Spotlight 2.0 initiative, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, there is a link, a Google Drive link on Jimmy Bell's video on the 2.0. Maybe I can show it here because I didn't even know that this was there. So I'm like, I'm going to have to tell everybody on Friday. So if you go to Jimmy Bell's YouTube channel, let's see, Jimmy Bell. And I know that we talk about it a lot, but this is still ongoing. You know what I mean? Like, even though I know he said like deadline March 1st, I don't think I'm going to stop. I don't think I'm just going to stop just because March 1st passed. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm going to keep this going for a really long time. Okay, so if you go to his live tab page and you click on Operation Spotlight Warriors are mobilized worldwide, he has the link there as well. And so it was really cool because the drive was a list, and I'm going to show it to you here. A list of your state's representatives. Okay, so I can't see it because of the green screen. Okay, there we go. So I went to Florida and I said, I'm going to have to print out this list. So I did, and I counted 28 representatives in my state, congressmen and women, with the Washington, D.C. addresses, because that's what we want to do. We want to send this cover sheet straight to their D.C. offices. And if we can do it all in one shot, even better, because all of them would have the same information all at once, right? Hi, CJ. Welcome. So I'm talking about the Operation Spotlight 2.0. And I got this list of all of my representatives in Florida that I'm going to do an individual letter to each congressman and woman about Operation Spotlight, and then the cover sheet directly speaking to our representatives. And just like the videos that I've played, that's what we want to happen with our representatives. I want to see my own representatives talking about the CSA issues, the inadequate response of CSA that Watchtower has, etc. Welcome to the chat, Steve. Okay. So I wanted to show you guys that I started highlighting this because I started already printing and making my letters. And I'm going to show you that on my cover, I put my own little page here and I stapled it on top of the cover. And this is my personalized message to my representatives that, something that I want them to know. And so I have about 4 or 5 done already because I am going to send it to all 28 representatives in the state of Florida, which includes our senators and even the governor and the attorney general. Pennsylvania already did it, which we talk about all the time. But I don't even think she's AG anymore, the woman who was actually, started the investigation. So somebody else has to pick up from where she left off. And so even though people might change office, that doesn't mean we change. We need to be right there. So when the next person comes into office, they know what's going on. So I wanted to show you guys that because if you click on that link, you can go to your state, print out the representatives in your state, and you can send them the 2.0 alongside the original Operation Spotlight letter. So it is a lot of pages, but to me, it's worth it. And writing individual notes, even though my hand was killing me the other night, I did it because I mean, you guys know, if you know me, you know me, but you guys know I love politics. And you know that some of these people on this list, I'm a fan of, even though I don't agree with their politics 100% of the time. So if I'm going to send them a letter, I want to give a little more than just this, page that I'm going to be sending to each and every one of them. You know what I mean? Hello, illegal immigrant. Welcome. So that's what I wanted to show you guys from YouTube. Now, we're going to head over to some of these articles that I found on X, right? And I got to say, I think we are what's the phrase called? Striking a nerve. We struck a nerve with the whole Serena Williams topic. And isn't that the first time that we do this, right? So somebody posted this article through X on March 4th, 2025. And I honestly think this is their weak attempt to change the narrative about Serena Williams and being a Jehovah's Witness. I don't know. That's just my opinion. You let me know how you feel in the comments. But I'm going to read this article to you guys. So let me see if I can blow this up. Okay. All right. So the title says, I slay and pray. I cannot with this, you guys. I don't know. All right. I got to take this seriously. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop laughing. It says Jehovah's Witness Serena Williams reflects on her faith with daughter Olympia in a candid confession. Serena Williams knows how to own a red carpet. The 23-time Grand Slam champion turned heads at the Vanity Fair Oscars after party, dazzling in a midnight black off-shoulder gown. But while she spent the night mingling with A-list stars like Kim Kardashian, she also made sure to keep up with some far more important, her nightly routine with her daughters. The American tennis legend may be retired from tennis, but she hasn't slowed down one bit. Since stepping away from the sport in 2022, she has embraced a new chapter in her life, one rooted in faith and family. Shortly after retiring, she got baptized as a Jehovah's Witness, a commitment that now plays a central role in her everyday life. In an Instagram post while Williams was still in her glamorous avatar, she tucked her eldest daughter Olympia in for the night, but not without first offering a prayer to God. Okay, pause. Notice how they don't have the G in God capitalized. Why not? And then just talking about what she's wearing, what she's doing, literally everything that's going on in Serena Williams's life as a Jehovah's Witness is not normal. It's not normal because she's famous. And I know that. I get that. But if you're retired and you kind of stepped away from the limelight and from that Hollywood life, why are you still in it? Why are you still there? But then claiming to be a Jehovah's Witness. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just weird to me. Hello, Jane, and hi, Jay and Jane. Welcome to the chat. Oh my goodness, discussing Vane S. Williams and fake JW. Yeah, I know, Jane, because this is recent. Like this was just posted on March 4th, 2025. So it's like they're trying to clean up the mess, I guess, that we have done in ruining her her perfect like JW persona that she's trying to put up for Hollywood. It just doesn't it's not compatible. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell like, something's wrong here when she says, I slay and I pray. I mean, does a Jehovah's Witness talk like that? No, it's cringy. It's horrible. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. It says, in her caption, she revealed, I try my best to pray every day with them, no matter the circumstances. I slay and pray. It's a practice she holds close to her heart, ensuring her children grow up with the same faith that has guided her through life. Her devotion to Jehovah's Witness beliefs has shaped many aspects of her family life. After welcoming Olympia in 2017, Williams surprised many by revealing that they wouldn't be celebrating her daughter's first birthday. Olympia doesn't celebrate birthdays, she told people. We're Jehovah's Witnesses, so we don't do that. This really bothers me. Okay. And even when I was a Jehovah's Witness explaining to people why I don't celebrate, I wanted to give them a real answer than just using my religion as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, you're a Jehovah's Witness. Okay, I respect that, but why don't you see what I'm saying? Like it leads to another question. Well, why don't Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate birthdays? Like, can you give me more information than just sorry, we're Jehovah's Witnesses, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. I don't know how you guys handled it while you guys were growing up, or like what was your response? Better, let me rephrase it. What was your response when people would be surprised that you don't celebrate holidays or birthdays? What would you say to them? And welcome to the chat, Butterfly Queen 62. I'm doing good, doing good. Jane says she is in some fashion magazine and how she is such a great woman and top fashion designer, and she does not mention JW life at all. Exactly, which is why I think this article is trying to change that narrative. Okay, they're trying to change it into a positive thing, and how she's instilling faith and morals and prayer, and those things are great. It's good. But now they want to insert the Jehovah's Witness part. And that's because we talk about it here. I'm sure that people have seen it, shared it, and they have a problem and they get offended when we talk about that. Jane says, I thought she celebrated the birthday last year. You see, I'm not even sure. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not even sure because I can't even trust that she is even a real JW to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't even surprise me. Joe and Fran say Serena Williams, no birthdays for Olympia, child abuse. I mean, that would be like the extreme like response, right? Like that's child abuse not to have a birthday. But to say it's just an excuse, in my opinion, to say, well, we're Jehovah's Witnesses, so we don't do that. Why not give the real reason why you don't celebrate birthdays? And just state the script. Even if it is a script, say the real reason, especially in an interview like this. I don't know. It gives me the wrong vibe, in my opinion. Okay, so this is the post. This is the Instagram post of her with her daughter, and then, over the bed, just praying with her, right? And then this is the dress that she wore. Okay, I know you guys are gonna say this of how inappropriate it is, that would never fly with an average JW. We've all heard the talking points. But she's not like us, right? I mean, that was the whole irony of the song, is that she isn't like us. San Diego says, I had a hard time defending that to a point where I never disclosed myself as a JW. People only found out because of my mother mouth then calling me over. People know you're a JW, so set an example. Right, exactly. So you would either hide it. Hi, Dallas. San Diego says he was just a kid. Right. So it's a little confusing to be telling the world, oh, I don't do that just because I'm a Jehovah's Witness. No, 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 Serena. Give the real reason. Okay. So then she says, the article says, in a 2024 interview with Glamour, she shared her hopes for her daughters to follow the same path. I pray every night that the girls stay close and have a true relationship with God on their own and get to know Him, she said. It's the most important thing that I personally think you can do. Serena Williams' family is one of diverse beliefs, but they respect each other's choices. Oh, do they? Okay, so they're liberal JWs, I guess. That's what that sounds like to me. It says, while her mother, Oracle, and sister Venus are Jehovah's Witnesses, her father Richard is not. Her husband, Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian, also does not follow her faith, but has always supported her religious commitments. While the 43-year-old tennis icon was raised in a Jehovah's Witness household, she wasn't officially baptized into the faith until 2023. Over the years, she has spoken openly about how her spirituality has helped her both on and off the court. Serena Williams opens up on finding strength in her beliefs. Serena Williams has often credited her faith as a source of her resilience, especially during difficult times. In 2003, she suffered a devastating loss when her sister, Yetunde Price, was tragically killed in a drive-by shooting in Compton. In the aftermath, she leaned on her spirituality for strength. I tried to develop a better relationship with God, she told the New York Times in 2007. You have a strong, solid foundation, the Bible says. You won't crack. But the man who built his house in the sand, his house went down spiritually. I have a really strong foundation. That's how I was raised. I'm going to pause there because remember when we talked about the whole Super Bowl thing? She was for the Super Bowl. Hey guys. I did not know what happened. My whole computer went off. I had to restart the entire thing. I don't know what's happening. I guess they don't want me talking about Serena. I mean, what is it with me? Sheesh. Let me know if you guys can see me and hear me. I'm shocked that the live did not go off. I am so shocked. Thank you, San Diego. Yeah. I think it's the article or maybe what I'm talking about. I have no clue. I'm back. Okay, cool, guys. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is hilarious. Ever since I've started streaming, this has always happened to me, and I don't know why. It is the weirdest thing ever. Ooh, let me see this comment. Joe and Fran say Serena is the poster child for the transforming JW religion, catering, catering to the high flyers like Scientology does. Yup. No more common person members. Rich only need apply. Good one, Joe and Fran. Okay, so the ending of that article says that that's how she was raised, right? She tries to build a better relationship with God. It says on the court as well, the Queen of Court often recorded herself thanking God after her victories. Even when she made a mistake, she was quick to take accountability. Williams had a controversial outburst against Kim Clijsters at the 2009 US Open because of a foot fault on her serve. This drew reprimand from the elders of the Jehovah's Witness community, one she accepted earnestly. And I remember all of this in real time. So I remember when this happened. It says, talking to People magazine, she revealed, they just talk to you. They show you scriptures. Not ministers, they call themselves elders. It's almost like a reprimand, but it's not bad because in the Bible it says God loves you, and if someone reprimands you, they love you. I am shocked that this is her description of a judicial committee. How nice it is, and that it's just a conversation, and they just go over some Bible scriptures like so casually. And I don't know, maybe it is because she's Serena Williams. And you don't think that she thinks she thought about that? Like, she knows who she is. Come on. They're not going to treat you like the rest of us. Yes, Jane. So in this article, it did confirm her mother, her sister Venus, and Serena are all Jehovah's Witnesses except the father. So yes, and I didn't even know that. So I'm glad I brought this article up because it confirms it. So, reading on, it says from Grand Slam titles to glamorous nights at the Oscars, Williams continues to balance it all with faith at the center. She is making sure her daughters grow up with the same values that have guided her throughout her life. And that's it. That's the article. I was in shock. I was just like, I don't know, it's too casual for me. It's too fake. Like the cult is fake as it is. And then we got this? Like, I don't know. It just really rubs me the wrong way. San Diego says, we just need to leave it in Jehovah's hands. Oh, yes. Venus's? Oh my, cause Venus was dating Hot and Heavy for a while. I know I saw Serena baptized in Florida at an assembly. Yeah, so that's recent, 2023. I don't know when Venus actually got baptized or whatever, but they were definitely raised as JWs, and Serena got baptized after her retirement. So I mean, that's what we can share. Hey, Eric. I laughed too. Yeah, that's just too much for me. It's too fake. Too fake for me. And then I was scrolling through X, and I follow a lot of, people from different, faiths and backgrounds and political ideologies. And I caught a tweet from a mutual on X, right? And I think I can show you. Hopefully this doesn't kick me out again, but I wanted to show you guys this. So this is an X user and her name is Cassie. And the tweet says, well, let me see. Can I zoom in? Okay, right here. It says, she says, I don't think many people realize that when you leave the Jehovah's Witnesses, you become disfellowshipped. And I haven't been able to talk to my family in 7 years. They're in a cult. Pray for them. And so Cassie is a XJW converted to Catholicism, which is interesting. I have a similar background with Orthodoxy. So I replied to her tweet and I said, yup, I've been soft shunned for 10 years now, and I just converted to Orthodoxy on Christmas Eve, and now it's full blown shunning from my JW mom. I know exactly how you feel. So I think it's really cool that my algorithm shows me other people, from different backgrounds or ideology, viewpoints and things like that are also XJW, but they're not necessarily a part of like our community. They're just like out there in the open, like out there in the wild, and I get to meet some of them. So I think this is really nice that Cassie shared this on her X profile. And I think I'm going to message her to do like a collaboration. I think that would be really cool. All right. So we did the Serena story. There was another story here from the Herald Net, Everett, Washington. And this was posted Friday, March 7, 2025. So I think I spoke about this before, that Washington State was taking CSA seriously and wanted to mandate. They want to pass some legislation that would require mandated reporting. And I remember a long time ago, me and King Tony were going back and forth about, if it's appropriate, does it violate the First Amendment? How do different faiths and religions view this mandated reporting when it comes to confessionals and things like that? Because what's going on in Washington State is that the Catholic community is putting the speed bump. They are pushing this back, and there's a real legitimate reason why. And I wanted to get down to the bottom of it, and I did. So I hope that I will be remembered to tell King Tony. I think I did tell her this answer when I got it, but I'll read this article really quickly. It says, editorial: hold clergy to duty to report child abuse. Teachers, healthcare providers, and others must report suspected abuse. Clergy should as well. And we agreed with that. We were like, yeah, you can, if you're a teacher, if you're a doctor, those are the professions that you are around children, obviously, and you need to know how to spot out abuse, and then you would report it, right? And then I gave King Tony the example of like a lawyer, and how when you speak to your lawyer, it's confidential, and you're telling your lawyer, everything, because that whatever is said in that instance is not going to be made, to the public. And that's what gives you the, to put your guard down, to actually tell the truth, right? Because you're trying to fight a case or whatever the case may be. So yes, Jane, each state has different laws on CSA. Yeah, so there are a few states already, like 6 or 8, I think, states that already have this, but they have it with the confessional out of it. So in the bill, they do have to report, mandated report, but not when it's in confessions. So that's the loophole that Washington State wants to get rid of. They want to pass this without that loophole. But like I was telling King Tony, religiously speaking, they have their own system of courts and laws and things. It's all biblical, it's all traditional, it's all church stuff, which not that many people are going to understand, because they're not in that community, or they don't share the same beliefs. So this is why it's being held up in Washington State. So I'll continue reading. It says, there are few areas of lawmaking as fraught with the competing tensions between rights and responsibilities than those involving religion, a necessary results of the constitutional freedom that the First Amendment guarantees for Americans exercising exercise of faith. That tension between rights and responsibilities has been on a painful display this legislative session as state lawmakers again consider a bill that would add clergy to the list of those who are considered mandatory reporters of child abuse and neglect. All right. State law outlines an extensive list of people with varying levels of contact with children who are required to report abuse or neglect to law enforcement or the state's Department of Children, Youth, and Families. Among those mandatory reporters are teachers, coaches, other school employees, law enforcement, healthcare providers, counselors, guardians, and others. Washington state, however, is one of only 5 states that does not require mandatory reporting from members of the clergy. Efforts in the legislator to include clergy as reporters go back several years, but most recently with proposals from State Senator Noel Frame, D. Seattle, who has identified herself as a victim of child sexual abuse. So this is if you want to read this article, you can. I'll link it, and then you can continue reading it. But let me see if I can scroll down. Okay, right here. So it's Senate Bill 5375, and it does not include the same exemption regarding the right of confession, but would not compel a clergy member to testify as a witness, only to report what is known to authorities. Okay, so this is the back and forth that's going on, right? And then I think I read here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, right here, where it says it's an act of worship. It is a prayer for us, and the seal of confession is essential to that right because a penitent has the right to confess their sins without worrying their sins will become public. So that's the back and forth, is the seal of confession. And I will link this for anybody who's interested in reading the whole entire back and forth and like the whole stance of what the Catholics are doing, and with the stance of obviously all of us who want the CSA to cease and things like that, right? So this is what I understand it. This is how I understand it. The seal of confession cannot be broken under any circumstance, or else it would be excommunicated. That's canon law. That's what they call that, right? Now, what the state is doing is trying to include the confessional into the mandatory reporting, that if a priest learns of something that has to do in this regard, he has to report it, or else he will get fined, or, consequences would happen. But it's not just that, because if a priest breaks the seal, he will also have the consequence of being excommunicated. So you see how this all gets religious and political at the same exact time? And you know how we always say we want to separate church and state? Like, we don't want these two things to mix. And somehow it always does. And that's why I talk about it. So anyways, I asked my priest about it. And it was really cool because he is a canon lawyer for the Orthodox. So I was like, this is right up your alley. Let me ask you this. And so I did. I said, what happens if you learn of a crime and you can't say anything, right? Because you're under the seal of confession. Well, he is a lawyer, and he said, yeah, I have dealt with many cases like this, with different things, with breaking the seal of confession. I was like, okay, so how do you report it to the proper authorities when a priest learns of something like this? And so this is the best. I'm going to try to paraphrase what he said, but basically he said that it will come out from other means, like a different way, for the priest to tell the proper authorities himself as a citizen, not as a priest. You see what I'm saying? Because it would go against the canon law. So I understand that. But what we're saying, what we always say, right? Well, what if it's the priest himself? What if it's the elder himself? That's another issue. So I don't know how, like, the technicalities of everything, like how if they have a textbook answer to it or not, I don't know. But to the best of his ability, he told me it will always either come out another way, or that person will get excommunicated right there and then. They will not be able to come back to the parish. They will, and if they want to come back to the parish, they would be sent to a monastery to worship God by themselves with no children around. And I was like, okay, that sounds a little bit better, because I have always said, why don't the JWs just revoke the invitation of the pedophile? Like, that's not too hard to do. Just say you can't be here. Or do take the meeting on Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Or like over the phone. Let me see your comments. Jane says, I think Utah are allowed child marriages during due to the Mormons. Oh, okay. Well, you see, that would be different. And that's a state's issue. You see what I'm saying? So Washington State is, I see what they're trying to do, and I understand that the problem that they're having. So that's why I was trying to ask my own about this and to tell you guys what I found out. Because I know King Tony was like, oh, you need to ask and like come back to us and tell us. So that's why I'm trying to update you guys on that. Oh, that must be where JW got confused. San Diego says BS. In JW land, there's usually a local needs. Talk about a week after an announcement after of this fellowshipping. Yeah. But in a confessional, priest can't see person's faces, right? So that's another thing. I think that's a Catholic thing. So I don't know that. But in my parish, you're standing right next to each other, right in front of the whole parish. So they know it's you. You see, it's not like some secret, meeting. I don't know how the Catholics do it because I've never been to a Catholic church, but that's why I was trying to really ask my priest, like without trying to step on, people's toes. But that's why I was trying to say it nicely, like, well, what happens? Because you know that this person did this. How do you go about it? And basically it's like the priest has to do it himself. He has an obligation himself to go as a citizen and to say, I heard this, and give it in, like anonymously, like let the authorities handle it. To go around that the seal of confession. I'm your daddy. What a name. I'm your daddy. Canon law. Yeah, that's another thing. I didn't know what that was until I looked into this, and then I asked my priest about it. But yeah, they have a whole canon law. They have a whole judicial system that now I realize that that's exactly what the JWs have, and they're copying it from the Catholics. And I've heard you guys talk about this before, like how the JWs always wanted to like drag the Catholics, but they are so similar. So I don't know. It is what it is. Jane says, but I thought Catholic priests straightened this matter up. They apologized for priests messing up the choir boys and nuns. Yeah, that was a separate whole thing, and they paid out to the victims and everything. So they took accountability. Yes. But what they're not going to do, which is the same thing that JWs want to say, they're not going to bend and break the seal of confession, because that's one of the fundamental like the article says, it's an act of worship, it's sacramental, it's like that's not something that they're gonna change, because it's not just like a policy. No, it's actually their canon law. And like I said, that's where religion kind of bumps head with politics and it gets nasty. Yeah, they did. Watchtower or JW never will apologize. Yep. Hey, Gigi. JWs are modern day NPCs. Yep. Oh, that changed. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I don't know because I've never been to one. So this is really interesting for our community, especially since, I told my priest, well, I don't want to seem or look like I'm being hypocritical by saying that I expose CSA and I want to change legislation, but then let my belief system stop me from doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I wanted to understand what's the best way on how to go about this. because those two things are not going to change for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to be outspoken about CSA and wanting our representatives to change the law. If it has to change it. But I want to do that without violating somebody else's First Amendment. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that I'm going to continue looking into, and I'm going to ask, for advice and how to really go about it. Agreed, Jane. Agreed. So this is something really interesting, and that's why I feel like the JWs are a little hypocritical, because they want to call themselves elders. They don't want to call themselves priests, but then they want to use the penance clergy privilege, whatever it's called. So that doesn't make sense in itself. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It feels weird. All right, guys. So it is 9:53 p.m. Eastern time, and I pretty much got these articles that I wanted to talk about. I think there was one more article that I had, but I'm going to have to leave it for next Friday. But to pique your interest about this story, this is, let's see, I think this was Argentina, I think it was. And the title is Evangelicals, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, Muslims, Israelites, and Umbandas, the creeds that will be included in the register of cults. I was like, what? That's amazing. How many times have I said that they should be deregistered as a religion and just re-registered as a cult without the charitable status? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a great idea. So I think this is from Argentina. I think so. But if that's the case, they're doing it right. They are starting off correct when it comes to registering them as a cult right out. And please don't give them any money, state money, at all. All right. Yes. Interesting. Yes. All right. San Diego says Michelle isn't on either. I hope none of our regulars are fighting that flu. Oh, yeah. King Tony had that flu and then it turned into a bronchitis. So that's why she was like on the machine last Tuesday and she was sick. But we are going to head over to Discord now. It's at 10 p.m. And let's see. I might be able to show you guys. For anybody who's interested in the future, to come check us out on Discord. Okay, here goes Discord, HW friends. And when you guys sign up and you see all of these tabs on the side here, let me see. Okay, right here. You go to the events section, and then you see right here, starting in 3 minutes, TV show night Severance. So I want everybody to head over to Discord, and we are going to do TV show nights. And hopefully you'll be able to join us. Blutterfly Queen 62 says, Discord? What is Discord? So it's a social media platform where we can instant message, FaceTime, like have virtual events, but on there. And then everybody can join and either watch something together or talk or whatever you want to do. It's public. So you go here to the games and movie room, and it'll turn on your mic or your camera. So just if you don't want to show your face or your voice, just mute yourself, turn off the camera. But that's where I'm going to be streaming the show. You go here to general chat, and this is where everybody is chatting. So I'll just scroll up and down. You see everybody has something to say. There's always a conversation going on. Oh, we watched this movie last time, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. That was a good one. Sometimes we have a meetup flyer, which I'm so happy Joe and Fran were able to post this. So if anybody is interested in this, it says XJW Friends Meetup. They're going to have a chicken barbecue meetup. Let's see. May 18th, 2025, 1 p.m. And the address is there, RSVP. It has Fran's phone number. So this is where we all go to hang out virtually. And then if you go to the creator community, you will be able to customize who you want to see, like their posts, their videos, and things like that. So this is mine right here. You can go to my tab and it'll automatically show you whatever, whenever I'm live, whatever I post, and then people can talk to me here. That's why I say, like, even though I'm not on social media, like on Facebook or Instagram, for the public, I am on Discord. So you can reach out to me here and I will be able to, talk to you here. All right, guys. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to put a link in the chat. Click that link, join the server, and then go straight to the game and movie room. We're going to be watching Severance there right now. Thank you, everybody, for being here, being in the chat. Just me here. Maybe next week, Tony will be better and not celebrating somebody else's birthday. But I know she's having fun. I'm just joking. All right, guys, click that link. Join us on Discord, and I will meet you there. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to join Discord if you want for the movie night. Oh, hi, Jackie Jacks. Just joining. Oh, man, and I'm just finishing up my stream. Awesome, Butterfly Queen. Okay, Jackie. So since you just got here, I'm actually wrapping it up and we're going to all go to Discord and watch a new episode of the show Severance that we've been watching every single Friday after like the news. So if you click that link that I just put in the chat, you will be able to join us and be in the movie room and hang out with us. And yeah, I guess I will see you guys all soon. Bye, Jane. Bye, everybody. And I will see you here next Friday, 9 p.m. sharp. And you guys already know my XW Political Corner show is every Tuesdays at 9 p.m. So I will see you there. Bye.